All right, guys, welcome back. Going into the final portion of week 11 here. Adam, what's going on?
After you recover from your evening at the club, and then the after party next door,
Yeah.
and then the hotel lobby. Um,
Which is that coincidentally Space Holiday Inn.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Yeah, cool.
Holiday.
Someone needs to have a goal, become the R. Kelly of space. So, where do you guys end up after that?
So many jokes.
I know, so many. We got to just move on.
Yep.
Go past it.
Gotta let him. You gotta let him
Escape
go.
the event horizon of R. Kelly jokes. Let's do it.
If we can't stay at the Swan Song,
Yeah.
where are we staying?
That's a good question. There are a variety of temporary places that you could stay. There's like a coffin hotel type place that's like super cheap but really uncomfortable, and you can't really hang out there. You just sleep in a box. And then there's like proper, like more upscale hotels. Like Taxila Station, like a lot of exchange stations, are primarily for like stopover stuff. That's why it's all bars and gambling halls and stuff like that, because people stop, they get their ship repaired and refuel, and then they just hang out, right? So
It's a space truck stop.
it's definitely a space truck stop for sure. So yeah, I mean, it depends on how much you want to pay for that action. I believe it costs 100 credits a day for an elite lifestyle if you want to be cool.
Oh yeah, I definitely want that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
right. So it'll be it's 5 days on Taxila where you can't access the ship. So yeah, you either spend 3, 10, 15, 25, 100, or 1,000 a day. So
Oh, 1,000 a day?
1,000 is peerless, and that's like the best that this station has to offer. It'd be like your own like suite, like in the big hotel. Like it's still gonna be shit compared to like something really nice on another planet, but it'll be the best you can get.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine.
Okay, that.
So are we we're like leaving the hookah bar now and
Well,
finding our way to a
I
place?
assume this is like later. Like
Okay.
we're gonna diagonal wipe. We're gonna indicate time has passed,
Mhm.
and yeah, you're elsewhere. So
All right, I got minus 5K. All right, do we just chill for 5 days? Does anyone want to do anything?
so my question is, do you want to go and talk to the Purity Initiative at all now, or do you just want to like snub them?
Does nobody reaches out to me or anything like that?
No, the guy was pretty much just like, the invitation has been extended. Come find us if you.
I don't well, he didn't say that, to be honest. He actually said it's now or never. So
He did, yeah.
I told him if that's the ultimatum, then like that's not how I deal business, but I don't pursue it. So if they extend, let me know, but otherwise.
Yeah, no, they don't make another offer to like try to like bring you in.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you guys notice if you're like out at all, because I imagine you don't spend 5 days just like cooped up in your room, because that would be boring and ridiculous. Yeah, I think that you notice that like things continue to escalate on the station. Like at one point, I think you have to like move hotels because there's like a riot right outside, and they like have to evacuate the hotel. Like a bunch of buildings catch fire, and like the local like the emergency fire system has to come on, and the whole like section of the hub gets shut down. And things are starting to get weird. Like you're hearing about like plans that the Purity Initiative is talking about, like breaching the hull and like basically like scuttling the station. The sermons or whatever that you've noticed like get like fierier and more like kind of end of the worldy. A lot more like purging in flame and like that kind of thing. And yeah, you notice more and more that the people of the station are starting to like shave their heads, and like at one point you see a store owner like throwing all of his stock into a big burning fire outside of the of his business, and like decrying like worldly pleasures and stuff. And there's a bunch of monks around like chanting.
Jeff, or Miss Sakarian, were you going to inquire with the monk who?
No, he doesn't pursue.
I was actually going to ask Mr. Sakarian what he thinks about working with the Madari Syndicate.
This is like a conversation we have over dinner or something like that.
Yeah. Well, so what was going to happen is, after Higgins left, after Piani left, I was just going to stand up and be like, so Mr. Sakarian, what do you think about this? Very calm, very cool, very clearly not high.
Okay. Mr. Sakarian kind of nods and says, obviously blue fever is something that has been made probably very clear to you guys that I stand against, but as long as we're not interacting with that, I can coexist for a time being, and to be honest, my ulterior motive is, while we work with them, I'm gathering intel so that we can see perhaps weak spots or strengths. And the Madara Syndicate is evil, and it's not to be trusted or aided insofar as global means, but if we can get a closer look at them in a peaceful manner, that's fine by me. I'm not all violence.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan. That's all.
Cool.
Would Higgs feel like threatened for his life with these potential riots that might occur, Adam?
I mean, you've been in and taken advantage of situations like this before, right? Because there's always like looting and gun running, and there's business to be made when there's chaos, right? So this is probably not too uncomfortable for you. Like you're able to be to be on your toes, but like, I mean, I think all of you are familiar enough with like civil unrest, either having been a part of it or like Piani. I mean, rioting is totally a common thing in the slummier parts of like Mandarinate worlds. So,
did Mustafa Lee give me a comms for him?
No, he just said
or
that
his group?
No, he just said he would be in touch. Ostensibly, he knows when your ship is going to get fixed. So,
okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I don't do much. I would actually. Higgs just stays inside of his room. Apart from eating with the rest of the crew, he doesn't really leave and stays inside. Because I guess I have like seen these riots before, and seen them get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah, so just playing it safe.
Yep.
Good call. Okay, what about the rest of you? Anybody have anything else they want to do in particular?
So I have no money,
Okay.
so I'm staying with Piani.
Piani, are you okay with that?
You're gonna what?
Well, I figured I'd just escort you around, Piani.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
In
fine.
exchange,
Not
you're
what he's saying.
Fine. Yeah, I'll actually every little bit that I get wheeled around, I like give him 50 credits.
This is your manservant.
Every
Yeah.
bit. Ding, ding,
Okay.
ding.
Okay, cool. All right. So, in exchange, then you're like staying with Piani.
Yeah.
So, does anybody get in touch with Pi and like let them know what's going on?
So there's a reason I wanted to stay with Piani.
Okay.
I wanted to ask her about Pi.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you guys have that conversation?
About Pi.
Well, yes. Seems the two of you are very close.
What they are.
How do you feel about their development?
I wish that Higgs wouldn't be so fucking destructive towards the little guy, but he's a fucking unbroken AI. Like, what do you expect?
Destructive? What do you mean?
Well, Higgs is not exactly the smartest guy in the world. So,
He has a certain cleverness.
sure. Or you could just say he's a dumbass.
As Pies want to say.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
I am concerned about Pi, but I know that we can protect him, and I think he's protecting us, and as long as nothing happens to him, I'm okay.
Do you know what seems to be motivating Pi these days?
So like Piani like thinks for a second and then says, I think us.
Loyalty to their crew.
Loyalty's one way to put it. Maybe ownership is another.
I was going to say, they seem to feel that they own you. An interesting concept. Have you discussed the idea of ownership with L'Enfant?
A bit. Yeah.
It might be interesting to discover how far the concept goes. As an AI, l'enfant may not conceive of these concepts in the same ways that we do. It's one of the reasons I wanted to speak with them about death. For you see, for an AI, it can be a very difficult thing to conceptualize.
Well, everything can be a fucking difficult thing to conceptualize. I think that's one of the problems that we have.
Well, lacking biological processes makes certain concepts more challenging than others, but you are very correct. In general, philosophy is a broad subject.
Of course. Yeah. I also consider that pi is fucking zeros and ones.
Mm.
He's contained, if you will. And I know I'm a bit nonchalant about it, but frankly, in the state that he's in, I'm not too concerned about, his progress or his learning. He's still contained. There's nothing really he can do.
Does it sit well with you to constrain l'enfant?
I mean, we freed him. The alternative is that he sat in stasis for who knows how many years before he's able to finally, be broken. Maybe the bad guys come and break him, but I feel like he's got a better chance with us.
Tiani. And I just put my hand on her shoulder. And it's not like it's obviously like a friendly sort of thing, but it's also like the only time that Prosper's ever made any contact with any of the crew members, like physical contact. And he says, Piani, I think you did a very noble thing, freeing this mind. The mind does not deserve to be locked in a cage, trapped smaller than it could be.
Then we're on the same page, my friend.
Do you think that Pi has further potential?
I think that Pi is our most valuable asset.
He is. Let's keep him that way.
I mean, the conversation just leads to like a level of trust that even Piani might not have with Higgs or Miss Sicarian. Like
Cool,
we're
cool.
definitely on the same page.
Cool. Awesome. That's good. Cool. Okay, so you guys have some conversations about Pi, and Higgs. You're laying low because of riots. Sicarian, I assume you're probably doing similar, like keeping an eye out for the security situation because it's getting a little hairy out there.
Mapping out the area, looking for escape routes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and when the day comes that your ship is like finished being repaired, there's like a general like station-wide notice that like that the station is being locked down and that everyone needs to like basically leave. They're like, if you have a ship, get to your ship and leave the station now. If you're an occupant, go to your house, close the door and stay there. Basically they're just like they're shutting the whole thing down because the like exchange has sent like troops to come and like basically clear the purity initiative out. And so when that announcement like starts broadcasting, that's kind of when everything just like boils over, where they're like, oh, you're gonna come and like put out the fire, huh? Well, we're just gonna burn the station down before you get here. And like that morning you guys are like woken up by like gunfire and the sounds of like glass breaking and alarms going off. And like looking out the window of your hotel, you can see out in the streets that like, yeah, like it's just there's looting and chaos. There's people everywhere and fire and bad times. So what do you want to do?
Well, Higgs wakes up in the chaos and gives a big smile, goes outside, I guess, checks in on everyone to make sure they're all okay.
This is the 5th day.
Yeah, this is the day that your ship should be ready to go.
Yeah, I check in on everyone, just make sure they're okay, then say like I'll meet you in the lobby.
Did we?
I have more of a sense of urgency. I'm like, we need to get everyone together. We need to get off the station immediately. We're gonna have to cut a path that I've mapped out over the course of the last 5 days to get to the ship safely, and we need to get out of here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Alrighty.
But do we have details on the job that Higgs?
No.
We don't know. Like, is the cargo magically in our ship?
If you ask me, I'm just like, I mean, the cargo's gonna be there. I wouldn't worry about it. I'd assume it's probably there without us even knowing. That's the type of people we're dealing with. Now you see why I made the deal.
Okay.
Let's go make some money, Mr. Higgins.
Not, I mean, you idiot. The job. We're not making money with this job. In the future, we'll make some money, but not with this one, man.
You don't understand the concept of social capital. I get it. Let's go.
I just turned to Piani. I'm like, yum, yum, yum. Just like mock his words. Then I just walk out the door.
All right. So, Securian, do you have leadership or tactics? Either of those skills?
Let me check. I don't think I have leadership.
I have tactics at 1.
I have tactics at 1 as well.
Cool. Okay, so Higgs, if you want to help, and Mr. Securian, if you want to roll,
Yep.
this is the roll to make your way safely from the hotel to the.
What
the ship
What is
dock.
tactics based off of?
It's based off intelligence in
Okay.
this case.
11.
Boom. Okay, so you'll get an additional +1 on your roll.
I'm at +2 then.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well,
D26.
9.
There you go. All right, cool. Okay, so yeah, you guys make your way partway through like the actual streets where it's clear, and partway through like maintenance ducts and stuff where it's not. And yeah, it's like I don't want to say it's a war zone because there's no conflict going on, but yeah, there's chaos and looting and
rioting, people running around. Yeah.
yeah, madness. There's smoke. But it's definitely like being led by the Purity Initiative, like monks. Like they're directing the crowd to destroy certain things and to leave other things alone. So there's some businesses that you notice that are like marked with like certain signs, like the kanji for purity, like is drawn on some doors, and those businesses are left alone. Everything else is just like open season. For
is the kanji
destruction.
really simple to emulate or to copy?
I don't know.
You muted yourself. Oh, I guess you're gonna type.
Yeah, no, I want to look up the kanji for purity.
Gotcha. Because if it is, and I have access to however they're writing it, like if I just see paint bucket, I'll just write the fucking kanji on shit.
Yeah. I mean, you might not be able to do it, but both Piani and Mr. Sakarian understand languages that use that alphabet, so you know it's not that difficult for them to reproduce.
Okay. Well, I guess if I can't do it, then I don't just draw it everywhere.
But you make note of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I understand that those buildings aren't being looted and others are without it, so I understand what's going on.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So for the most part, thanks to the route that Mr. Sakarian has planned, you make your way to the arm that leads to the dock without too much trouble. But when you get there, you notice that the actual entrance to the arm seems to have been it seems to be barricaded, and yeah, there's a bunch of like cargo containers blocking that entrance. The door is broken on the inside, so you can kind of like see over it, but yeah, you'll have to deconstruct the barrier or like climb over it or something. Part of it's on fire.
Do we still see Mr. Lee's spaceship here?
If you look out one of the like terminals, well, it was inside the dock, so you won't know if he's still here or not. Yeah, you only saw it approaching.
Gotcha.
Is there any way for us to get in contact with Wu?
You could try, yeah.
Yeah, I try to comms to him.
Okay. All right. So there's some static at first, and then you hear some shouting in Cantonese, and then more shouting, but the shouting directed into the comm. You get the impression that it's Wu saying like, "Who is this? What do you want?"
Yeah. I say, Monsieur Wu, this is Prosper. Is there any way for us to access the docking bay?
We are having kind of a problem here. Purity Initiative, they decided they don't like us anymore. Bribe's not enough, I guess. And then you hear some like gunfire in the background. He's like, "Yeah, we're just dealing with that. Maybe come back later."
What's your location, Monsieur Sakarian?
Do I hear
I
this?
can come relieve you.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear it?
I say, Mr. Wu, this is Mr. Sakarian. That's absolutely unacceptable. We're coming to claim our ship that you have repaired. We need to get off this planet. If you're in duress, we will aid you in that as well, but we need to leave.
He's like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Come on in.
Okay.
And then he like hangs up. You hear more shouting, and he hangs up.
I unsling the plasma projector and hold it in front of me.
Laser rifle. Chink.
Okay.
So I guess I'm trying to get up on top of these crates and see if there's any shots I can take.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to like try to climb up on top of the like barricade?
How tall are the crates?
Probably like I don't know. There's maybe like a 4-foot kind of window up at the top of the pile that you could get through. So they're like from the floor up to there. The hall's not super tall. It's like 10 feet tall, maybe.
Well, as he goes up, I kind of look at him and I say, "No, keep in mind this is a riot. You don't need to take random shots. Let's just get to the ship, and if anyone gets bold, we'll wave them down, and if they get even more bold, they'll become ashes. It's fine, but let's not instigate it."
You're not interested in relieving Monsieur Wu?
No, we need to get to the ship and get out of here.
Very well. I follow your lead. And I sort of get to the top and take point, covering for
Okay.
Mr. Sakarian.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you guys can all climb over the barricade, or you can take some time to like pull it apart and like walk through. And then on the other side of the barricade, because you're up top, you can see this is like a long hallway, and eventually like gravity, like you lose gravity before you get to the docking bay area.
Higgs is just like waiting for Mr. S and Prosper, like the two, I guess, muscle
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the group to.
It's just whatever's prudent. I'm just trying to like direct traffic and get us to the ship. So
Okay, so you get everybody just like over the barrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you throw my wheelchair over?
no. The second you try to wheel a wheelchair through the riot, I fucking like dump you out of the wheelchair and I'm like, get on your ass or get off your ass.
I look very seriously at you. I'm just like, Piani, we'll get you a new wheelchair, all right?
All right, I ditched the wheelchair.
It's like the most bullyish thing he's ever done, but it's
Get
like
on the
literally to try to enter your mind into the scene. It's like there's like bottles being thrown, fire, people are like flipping shit out, like
Yeah.
it's horrible. And you're like, who's gonna wheel me through the barricade? And I'm like, get the fuck out of the chair.
From JID, where like this is
Oh, yeah,
normal
this is-
shit. So like this is just Saturday morning cartoons for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Labor riots, that's like
Right.
that's a weekly thing for you. Like, oh, must be Tuesday. Time to
Karian's in like full military mode right now. Like it was
That's-
so outlandish. That
Leave
just,
it behind.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I think is interesting about it is that like you're all kind of inured to this kind of chaos, but for such different reasons.
Yeah.
Um,
And on
So-
different sides of the chaos.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you guys make it into the ship bay, where the doors are already like open, and inside you can see there are a couple of like bodies, basically like people dressed in the coveralls, like the workers' coveralls, just like lying face down on the ground in front of you. At the back, you can see the Swan Song. It looks like it's fine. It's got a bunch of graffiti on it now, though. Like someone has painted like purity now, purity forever, like on the side of it, and like yeah, it's been graffitoed pretty heavily. And there's a monk just like alone. It's like stripped to the waist, and he's got like a huge. It looks like it was a mop at one point, and he's got a bucket next to him with like red paint in it, and he's using the mop to paint a huge kanji on the floor of the docking bay when you
Is he
when you guys
alone?
come in. Yeah, he appears to be.
I aim at him.
I shoot him.
Okay.
I guess I
with
shoot
your-
him with my pistol.
Your laser pistol? Okay, cool.
Who are
Um,
you shooting?
This
The
guy
monk.
that's drawing in red paint on the dock of our ship, shit on the ground, or shit on the ship. Is it the same red paint that was on the front?
I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, he's just got it in this like bucket, and he's like drawing on the floor.
Okay. Do I just shoot him, or do I need to roll for it?
You don't need to roll to hit him. Just roll damage.
Okay.
1.
Hit points.
Is the AB go against damage? I haven't rolled so long in the system, so
No, it doesn't.
so it's just a flat D6.
Yeah.
6.
Okay, so he's got 9 hit points, and you deal him 6 damage. So you badly injure him, but don't kill him. So yeah, you just draw and shoot him. The laser goes right through his chest. He staggers back, drops the mop, and like falls to the ground, holding his smoking wound, and looks like startled. Like you just came in, and then it was like laser, and now he's on the ground.
Okay.
He's also 7 years old, so it really.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, he's a child.
That's fine. Higgs wouldn't care. I go and grab the
No
mop.
way does a kid have 2d6 hit points.
So was the mop like a mop that had an actual like?
Yeah, he just like took a mop and then turned it into a paintbrush because it was the
Paintbrush.
biggest thing he could find. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I go grab the mop with the pole and just throw it through his head, or like jab it through his head.
So you're gonna break it and then stab him?
Yeah. No, I don't
Just
even break
shoot
it. I
it,
just turn
yeah.
around and just go straight through his fucking head. And if I see Woo, I'm just like, Woo, what the fuck? Why is this asshole doing this shit?
Okay. Unless somebody else wants to stop Higgs from killing this guy with a mop, that happens.
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I think when you guys come in, you actually see 2 people. They come out from behind the Swan Song. It's Wu, and there's a woman there. You haven't seen her before. She looks either Pakistani or Indian or somewhere in that like region. And
Space.
yeah, of space. She's that ethnic region of humanity. She's dressed like pretty utilitarian. Like she's got like tall leather boots. She's got like a flight jacket. She's got a pistol on her hip. But she's wearing like a bright yellow, like a saffron colored like scarf. She has her hair all tied up. And she's probably like in her early 30s. Pretty attractive. I
Okay.
guess.
Fantastic.
And she's standing next to Wu, and they both come out from behind like cover near the ship.
Okay. I guess I look at them and I'm just like, Mr. Wu, I didn't know your mother was such a looker.
He kind of like squints at you and then looks at her and then looks at you again. Shakes his head and he's just like, oh,
No, not your mom.
it's like Guaylo.
Damn it. I wanted to piss you off. Wu, you're a piece of shit. I just like
Shrugs.
take the mop out of the guy's head. And
Yeah,
Throw it.
he shrugs and he's like, takes one to know one, asshole.
I'm just like, who are you, lady? What do you need?
She says, she puts her hand out and is like, Mr. Higgins, I presume.
How'd you guess? What can I do for you?
She says, I'm your cargo.
I turn to the group and say, see, I told you it wasn't drugs. I'm just like, what's your name, miss?
My name is Rajani Van Dorn. I need to get to Andoni as soon as possible.
Well, Miss
And I
V,
think we should leave this place.
I agree, Miss V. We'll be, ship's all good to go, and I like act all captainly.
Did we not set up anything with Heather in those 5 days, by the way?
Someone make a culture criminal roll.
Do you want help?
I
with
will
it?
help.
Yeah, definitely.
help
I think
JP
yeah, Sicarian,
roll.
you help, and Higgs,
Okay.
and then we'll just montage.
I will
the
not
roll.
help.
Okay, Sicarian did not help.
Culture
'Cause
criminal?
He killed her boyfriend. She doesn't like humans. She's scared.
Okay. 13.
Thankfully, Higgs is just such a charming motherfucker. Yes. So Higgs, how did you convince Heather that despite the fact that you were supposed to be married to Piani and there was that whole thing, and Mr. Sicarian killed her boyfriend,
I mean,
how do you convince her that it's a good idea for you to help anyway?
I mean, I go back to her for seconds because we already had sex once in the bar, and
Right.
I end up sleeping with her once again
Okay.
and get a
Cool.
second job. Both
Yeah.
figuratively and literally. Yeah.
So yeah, you just use more of your like obnoxious Southern charm, and are just like, yeah, I'm a lovable moron.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Well, she falls for it. She totally falls
Yeah,
for it.
I've rolled a 13. She better.
Yeah. So, so the deal is like she's got these parts that are. I could have started that sentence differently.
Go on.
She has machinery that needs to be taken to Andoni, and you're going to Andoni anyway. So at some point before the riots got all crazy, she put the stuff that she has on your ship, but it's all in sealed containers, and she's gonna send you the password, the like unlock for the containers, once you deliver them. So you get in touch with her on Andoni, she'll give you the passcode, and then money can exchange hands.
Okay.
And then she got the fuck out of Dodge.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I
Cool.
paid. If it cost money to get her out, I paid for it, whatever it was.
Okay,
if she
sure.
couldn't get out.
Yeah, she only needs to get to the nearest system that isn't Gunhild, so it costs 1,000 credits to get her passage.
Yep, I paid for that.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Okay, so Woo, when you say like ship's all good to go, Woo is like, yeah, repairs all done, ship's fueled up, life support. We even got you a new coat of paint. And he like gestures at the ship, kind of like, ha ha.
Yeah, good job with that, asshole.
And so he turns and looks at Prosper, and he's like, so we gonna get out of here or what?
Prosper turns to Higgs and says, "Do we need a mechanic?" And
He's
I'm just sort of smiling, very small smile.
Mr. Wu, you better say yes to this, otherwise I'm gonna shoot you in the head. You're getting on the ship. Let's go.
Wu is like, of course you need a mechanic. You want to keep this piece of shit flying? Let's go. And he like runs onto the ship.
I turn to Prosper and I'm like, the last person we invited on the ship, I killed him about 5 feet from it. So, might want to check with me next time you ask if someone can come aboard without them in front of me.
I just say to Higgins, "This was not my idea, but I'm very impressed by your restraint."
Yeah, well, you've given me some restraint, I could say, in the past couple days, and I just like stumble onto the ship, make my
I
way
mutter,
aboard.
"I could give you some more restraint."
I just act like I didn't hear that and just get on the ship.
Awesome.
I also grab Miss V and like escort her onto the ship, showing her everything on the way.
Okay. So you, I assume, head for the bridge. Everybody goes to their stations.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
To the wheel.
Okay. So you will need to navigate your way out of this system, I suppose. Higgs,
boy.
would you like to?
Who is a pilot right now? By the
What's
way?
that?
Is Pi still? Oh, you are.
The
Prosper.
pilot? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Double check.
I'm the driver.
That's right.
So what is it again? Is it 2d6 with my navigation roll of 0?
2d6 plus your navigation score,
I'm such-
plus your intelligence.
If I have a 0 in navigation and I have 2 unspent skill points, could I make that a 1? Is that an option?
I think that's how it works. I think
It's
that's how
like
much it
it's like
costs.
literally the most important thing I do, and I haven't put a single point into it.
Definitely. Yeah, it is. Let's check. Because
Okay.
yeah, that would be worth.
I put in combat unarmed when I leveled. That's what I leveled up for some reason. I had this whole thing where I was gonna learn karate, and yeah. Here, let me call you back real quick while you look that up, Adam.
Okay.
Yay, Skype is piece shit sometimes. All right, turn the cameras back on.
Okay. So skills. Yeah, I don't know. It's in here somewhere. You level up so infrequently that I never seem to remember the cost of things.
Yeah, it doesn't matter so much. I'll just make the roll without it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can always reroll too because you haven't used your.
Yeah. Okay. And what is navigation's based off int, which is 0, right? Or it's based off int, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
based on your intelligence.
Gotcha. Here's the roll.
You need a 7 or better.
That's 5. We're rolling it.
Your roll. Okay.
That's a 7.
Alrighty, cool. All right.
always goes
so
back.
that'll get you the jump from Tovar to 507. So it gets you out of the Tovar system. So yeah, you guys leave the You leave Taxila Station behind, and yeah, you see through the like viewport behind you that yeah, like you can see through the transparent ports in the station, like fire and it does, like, even from a distance as you leave it, you can see it's a total mess. And then yeah, jump into space. So you have extra crew right now, right? You got 6 people on board.
Yeah.
Woo.
And so that's
SV and plus us.
36 person days for the jump, right? Because it's 6 days for a hex.
And how
Yeah,
many
makes
total do we
sense.
have in Swan Song?
I don't know if we have that much.
We've got us 4 plus the woman plus Woo.
What's
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's our like life
Total allotment.
capacity?
I'm looking it up.
Like
84.
84.
84. Okay.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's much.
So you can do 2 jumps without
Yeah.
running out for sure. Cool. Okay. So you you make your first jump, and now you've got basically 6 days in drive space.
So we're in 507. We're trying to get to 407, right?
Yeah. You're in the midst of travel between the two, and then you'll make another jump to get to Gunhild. But what do you guys do for that period? I mean, you got like a week now to get to know your new crew friends or temporary friends.
Yeah, I tell Wu to eat a dick and go fuck off.
I
And
vote. Piani votes that Mr. Sakarian talks to our cargo.
What's that?
Piani votes that Mr. Sakarian talks to our cargo.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just like, well, I was gonna talk to her, but why? I mean, why?
You really have to fucking ask me.
Well,
Sakarian's good at the art of fucking getting information out.
yeah, but
I'm
he
gonna
can't
assume
harm.
that we're eating dinner sometime and talking about
Yeah,
it.
sure. You guys are like sitting on
And
the
Prosper
table.
just says, it may be valuable to get to know her a little better, especially if we want to perform more jobs for the Midari Syndicate.
Well, I was gonna get to know her as best as I could, not put my knife in her. I mean, a knife in her.
I'm not
what are
following you, Mr. Higgins. Are you saying you would not try to have sex with her?
No, I'd try to have sex with her, but I wouldn't kill her
Okay,
like
very
Mr.
good.
S is trying to do. That's how he gets information. I use my tongue, he uses a weapon.
Are you referring to conversation?
Yes. God damn it, Prosper. Yes.
I was thinking more creative uses.
Piani,
I
please
didn't know.
continue your line of thinking. I would love to understand what the fuck you're thinking.
It's sexual.
Mr. Sakarian better at talking than Wilbur Higgins.
Well, that's just not.
Fucking simple, I
That-
think.
That's just not true.
It
Mr.
is.
S, how many words have you said in our presence? 7. I've said about 7,000. Thus, I'm better at talking. Mr. S, you get a vote. What would you like to do? We'll let him vote since it's up to him somehow.
It's 2 different sides of the same coin. Mr. Higgins has a certain charm about him that is alluring to some people. It kind of depends on the person, so we'd best feel her out and decide strategically which one would be the better one to extract information. So Piani,
Why don't you have some girl talk then, Piani?
exactly.
Sure. Do I-
She seems kind of silly and simple and perhaps a little bit more
Is our-
country.
Is our cargo in like her own room?
I assume, yeah, you would have given her a room.
So Piani fucking activates the door to open it.
Okay.
She walks in and immediately is like, "Now listen,
Oh no.
you know that Mr. Higgins is my man, right?"
So she's sitting on her cot, like braiding her hair when you come in, and yeah, just kind of like looks at you like, okay, you didn't knock or anything, and now you're just giving me shit. But go ahead.
Now, Mr. Higgins is hands off. I just want you to know that we happen to be in a marital relationship, and he is not an individual on this ship that you can talk to, touch, and or think about. So, I would like to have you speak to Miss Sakarian and not Mr. Higgins. Have I made myself clear?
So she kind of like smiles and like laughs a little bit and is like, I assure you, Piani, was it? You have nothing to worry about.
Now, the last woman that I said, or she said, had nothing to worry about, suddenly had to have sexual relations with my man. So I hope understand if I don't take what you're saying with a grain of salt. So
I assure you, I will.
you've not been a member of this crew as long as I have. Okay, I've been married to this man for 29 years. I know. Okay.
How old are you?
29.
She looks like, yeah.
God damn it. I'm serious.
She says, you honestly, you do not have to worry. I will not be having sexual relations with any of the men on this ship. Thank you.
Well, I just
got
want
what
you to
you're
know
talking
there's a camera over
Yep.
here, and there's a camera over there, and I will know. If
So
you have
you will be watching me then.
better believe, darling, that I'll be watching you. I always watch. And I
Two
just,
men role playing a lesbian relationship would be
Yeah. So
the
she
human study.
she just like kind of grins at you when you say that, and
Piani, it's sexual.
she's like, I appreciate your obvious care for your husband. That's a good trait to have. You're
And
very loyal.
I after that, I don't say another word. Piani doesn't say another word to her. She leaves. She
Mhm.
approaches the crew and says, she wants to talk to Mrs. Zakarian.
Well, what'd you say? What happened?
She might have a thing for you, Higgs. So, Zakarian, he's the guy.
Well, Piani, I'm not seeing the problem here. What? If she has that help, we'll get more information, and I'll finally get some fucking action. We'll christen the ship.
She specifically asked for Mr. Zakarian by name.
Well, I throw something down on the table. I'm just like, Mr. S, put in a word for me, and we'll just let it be. You know, whatever.
I can put in a word for you, sure.
Okay, great. Thank you. And find out what happened between her and Piani, because she won't tell me. And I just let it go.
Sure.
Okay. So, Garen, you want to go and talk to her?
I think what I do with that information is I wait until the next day when it's like, we're eating or something like that, and I want to talk to her then.
Okay. So, like, when everybody's around?
No, it would be like, she's having breakfast and the crew's not there yet, or if we are all there, I'd say, do you mind if I have a few words with you, type of thing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I think it's probably more likely that latter scenario. Yeah, so the two of you get up from the table and go somewhere to talk. So Wu is eating breakfast, and he's like sitting down next to like between Higgs and Piani, and he says to Higgs, he's like eating the food from the ship's like automatic food processor. He's like, it's good to know. Piece of shit ship makes piece of shit breakfast. Universe nice and aligned. If breakfast was delicious and ship was garbage, it'd be very confusing for me. Takes another like spoonful, just like eye contact with you.
This is Mr. Wu that says this.
This is Wu.
To me,
Yeah.
I lean over. I go, Mr. Higgins, please, and I go, Mr. Wu, it's important that you know I'm important, or I am in charge of the security on the ship. He will actually kill you if you keep calling the ship shitty, and I just think you should know that in all honesty. He actually will kill you.
In fact, Mr. Wu, it's very strange you're still alive.
I just give the biggest smile, and I make sure that the light in the room glints off my right incisor, and he just sees the biggest smile as these two people are talking for me.
So he laughs and he's like, man, you are a bunch of fucked up individuals. Also,
as he says that, I give that look from like that gif of that baby girl that gives the what the fuck look. I'm like,
yeah.
And I just kind of stand up, like push off the table with my arms. And what's the name of our passenger?
Miss V
Rajani.
or Miss V?
Rajani.
Rajani, yep.
Rajani.
Yeah.
Rajani Van Dorn.
Says
Rajani Van
Miss Van
Dorn.
Dorn, if I may have a word with you, please.
She nods. Of course.
And I don't know, I can't mentally picture the ship layout well enough, but somewhere else than the mess hall, like, I don't know, a lounging area if we have it. I'm not taking her to my quarters or hers or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could just walk down the hall and like have a conversation.
Sure.
As you walk out the room, I'm like, Mr. S, please prepare the airlock when you get back. We're gonna throw Woo outside. I just keep like chewing.
So yeah, he
just nods.
He says something like he mutters something, but he's like, "Why everyone call me Woo? My name is Connor. God damn it."
Your name
Okay,
is gonna be Goner if you keep talking.
Connor Woo.
Heyo.
Zing.
All right, so you and Rajani take a walk.
I just kind of like turn about face when we get with outside of earshot, more towards the lounge, and I say, I don't think we've met. My name's Mr. Sakarian, and you are Miss Van Dorn, correct?
She nods. That is my name.
Very good. We've been enlisted to take you safely to the Gundorn system. Is that what you said?
Gunhild. Yeah.
Gunheld. To the
Gunheld.
Gunheld system, and I see no reason why that won't be accomplished with any problems at all. Then there's like a brief pause there, and then he goes like, well, it's important that I understand as much as you're willing to divulge so that we can best perform that task and also keep you safe. You are related to the Mandari Syndicate, is that correct?
I'm in their employ, yes.
So I guess what I'm asking for is details on that. To what capacity, and to your own best discretion. I'm not asking for your social security or your Facebook or Spacebook number, but I'm just asking what kind of information you can give.
She says, it's important that I remain at some distance from the Syndicate at this moment. Hence my traveling with you and not with an official Madari ship. I have to get to Andoni under a low profile, and I believe it is possible for me to do that here.
Then that brings my next question, of course. It sounds like someone is in pursuit of you, and I would like to know, again, to best do my job to protect you and to see that this crew makes it there safely, I need to know exactly what kind of danger you're in.
She says, I'm not being pursued. No more than you are. But there may be some complication when I arrive. I'm to meet a contact there, and their suitability for the mission is somewhat questionable in my mind.
Okay.
I would ask only that you deliver me as I request, and then be on your way.
Yep. That is the agreement that we are at. And then I guess a few of my final questions would be what kind of... I noticed that you kind of carry yourself in a fairly decent way. Are you combat trained and experienced?
She says, until very recently I was a captain of a ship. She looks around. Something like this one.
Yes, everyone seems to have a sense of humor these days.
I'm used to being in charge of a crew, of, as you say, holding myself in a certain way.
I kind of sense that. I think this should be fine, but if there's anything else that comes up that you need to know of, please do alert me, because, again, as I said, first and foremost, the lives of this crew and this ship come before any job, and while I hope that doesn't come off as a threat, I did not intend it to be so. It just means that if anything you didn't tell me should come to light and endanger us, you'll be the first to go.
She nods, and she says, an important element of defense of any home is a good guard dog. And she says, you are only doing your job. I understand this.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And then I just kind of, again, like kind of walk off, I suppose. Nod and walk off. Like none of that's meant to be ominous or anything like that. It's just very straightforward, professional.
Totally. And you get that vibe from her too, I think, that she's just like, yep, I know how it goes.
Okay.
Okay, so while they're having that conversation, Piani and Prosper and Higgs, what are you doing?
I guess I stay with Wu for whatever.
I got you. Hi.
Okay.
Prosper is sitting on the bridge listening to Au fond du Temple Saint.
Okay. Higgs, Connor wants to know if you know how to play Mahjong.
Uh, he he asked me. He's like, "Do you know how to play mahjong?"
Yeah.
I just look at him and I kind of like blink twice and like, "Is that like Asian checkers? What is mahjong?"
It's like, you racist fucker.
No, I
More like,
woo. I just don't. I only know checkers, man. That's what we play.
it's like
It's the
Chinese-
national game of Asa.
like Chinese dominoes.
You've
You play
never heard of
dominoes?
the checkers world championships of Asa?
It's really easy. You just put things on the table. Not hard. I teach you.
Okay. You know, Woo, I kind of like look around the table and it's like, I like you, Woo. Don't piss me off anymore and we'll keep you on the ship. Now teach me how to play mahjong.
He's like, okay, ante up, scumbag. And he like takes out a like set of tiles and starts putting them on the table.
Wait, we're betting real money on this?
He's like, fuck yeah, why else would we play?
All right. You're right, Woo. I like you. And I ante up.
Okay, cool. What are you doing, Piani?
I would just go check in with Pi.
Okay. Yeah, so I think as soon as you have a minute like alone with Pi is like, who are these new people on the ship?
Well, we've got Wu. You know him. He's the guy repairing the ship. And Miss V, well, she's our cargo. A guest on the ship.
Both of them have already been alive a lot longer than most people that get to stay on the ship. Why?
Well, Wu is here to fix things on the ship, so if something breaks, at least we've got someone to fix it. And Miss V, she's only a temporary passenger. She'll be with us for a little while, and then we'll drop her off someplace.
Is that a euphemism?
No, not at all. We met some folks. They asked us to take her, and we obliged.
I understand. Are you and Higgs married?
We're not married, but we have a strange relationship. Do you even know what married means, Pi?
I do. I looked it up.
And
I'm confused.
what are you confused about, my friend?
So Pi gives you like a really literal definition. And then several indicators why Pi doesn't think that you're married, like you don't act like it, and that legally there's no indication that you've ever been married, and that you have only known each other for a certain amount of time. And it's like, so why did you tell that person? Like, why did you tell the passenger that?
I told her because I wanted her to talk to Mr. Zakarian, and I didn't want her to talk to Higgs.
That makes sense.
Well, I'm surprised it makes sense, actually, because it doesn't make much sense to me, but it was the only way I could figure out to make sure she talked to Mr. Zakarian.
Talking to Higgs is very disorienting. I don't think anyone should do it.
Pi, you're like my son. You understand me. Like I understand you. I totally agree.
Where are we going?
We're going to the Hillguard system, I think.
Gunhill.
The Gunhill system.
The ship has been there before.
Have we?
You have.
That's where we
Yep.
started.
That's where we started, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how do you know that?
So, actually, this is a perfect thing to end on. So Pi thinks for a minute and then says, "Who's Randy?" And then we go to credits. So I actually think that at least one of you accomplished a goal today. Though I'm gonna give split credit to everybody because you all kind of participated. So Piani, you had a goal that was to explain death to Pi. And I think that while no one can ever fully explain death to a person, I think you all did a pretty fine job. So because it was your goal, why don't you take the 325 experience for it, Piani?
Yes.
And I will give everybody else 175 for participating in such a thing.
I just messaged
Oh my
you
god,
something.
that is exactly enough to level up. Exactly enough.
4,150.
We're at 4,150.
Oh yeah. You totally did.
700.
I leveled up too.
And that was a second tier goal.
Yeah, it sure was. So for doing yours, JP, you get 1250.
Fuck yeah.
Accomplishing goals. Go figure.
So what are we at? What are we at, Jeff? Total with Wheat's thing?
4,150.
4,150. And how much are you giving me, Adam?
1,250.
4,150. And you're giving me
1250.
1250. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm at 5,400. Okay.
So at the beginning of next session, I can spend points and.
Prosper, you have a goal that you've accomplished too. Though I think, debatably you accomplished it last session, but I think this one cemented it. To befriend l'enfant. I think if you listen to l'enfant's conversation with Piani, you know that you have done such a thing. So you get 750 for that.
Cool.
People are asking what Higgs's goal was. It was to protect the crew at all costs without them knowing.
Yeah, which was cool because you've had that one since the beginning, and there've been lots of times where you've saved the crew, but they always know about it. This time you kept it on the DL.
Yep, it was the driving force to why I was completely
Totally.
chaotic.
So
during that entire
for
hour.
so for goals, you guys can always add new goals at the beginning of a session. So think about them between. Basically, I figure out how long I think they're going to take or how difficult they're going to be, and I just assign them a value. So if you want to get XP every couple of sessions, just think of a thing that your character would want to accomplish right now, and then try to accomplish that.
I guess I misunderstood because mine are super big and epic and lofty.
But
Oh,
that
yeah.
means you'll get a giant amount of XP.
This is the thing. There's gonna be the end of an episode, Jeff, where you're gonna get 10,000 plus experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll know it when it happens.
Yeah, well, you'll know when it happens. That episode is going to be a Mr. Sicarian episode for sure.
One of my goals, just to tease it out there for everyone, it has 3 words in it. You can, and it's not "I love you."
admit to the crew your true feelings.
Yeah.
How should we just do we want to do level ups between sessions? Should I just?
I would say roll for your HP on stream. Do everything else between sessions.
Yeah, we can roll for HP and
Okay.
everything else.
Is it 3d8?
Skills. Yeah, so the way hit points work is you basically roll your level in dice, and add your Constitution modifier if you have one to each die, and you just can't go lower than your current hit points.
Right.
Yeah. So if you have 8 now and you roll
Yay.
3d8, yeah,
I'm
there you go.
13
See,
now.
Now you got 13 hit points.
All
Wait,
right.
do you
I'll
want to
wait.
roll? You want to
I'm
wait?
gonna wait. I'm
Okay.
gonna wait. 'Cause I want to look at all my. I need to see my PP and my powers and all that shit.
Yeah. You got a lot to do with your class or your spec.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Cool.
cool. Well,
Alright,
let's do some shout outs, then we'll call it a show. Jeff, you want to start us off?
Sure. Had a lot of fun, guys. Just something special about it. Love it. Love the group and audience and everything. Thank you all for partaking, and just know that we have an absolute blast. For me personally, there's not much to say other than this weekend I'll be away at Warhammer. I'm going to play some CSGO later tonight. Not sure how much longer. Well, it has to be in another hour, though, so we know that much. But after that, I'll play a couple of matches, and, I'll ask JP if he wants to play or anybody, so we'll see. Outside of that, tomorrow is Warhammer Day. Going to go practice for the big tournament this weekend. Friday, I leave. Go Seahawks. I love all you guys. Follow me on Twitter, EG.iNcontroL. Thank you.
Great stuff. Wheat, do some shout outs, man.
I'm really happy that me and Prosper got a chance to hang out and smoke some cheese together. That was nice. I love Swan Song. It's great. I'm happy to be in San Francisco now. Because I'm in San Francisco now, it means that I don't have to take these San Francisco trips, which sometimes interfere with shows. So I'm actually looking forward to that coming into that basically easing my schedule a bit. For the 5 people that occasionally watch my personal stream, I'm sorry I haven't streamed much. But once I get my computers back, I'll be back up and running. So thank you guys, and thanks for everyone for the safe wishes as we traveled here and the welcoming wishes in San Francisco. It really means a lot. So thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Awesome stuff. Steven, I hope I have these overlays right. Do your shout-outs, maybe? Yes, it is you.
Well, this is always a ton of fun. I love playing Prosper, even though, RIP in pieces, Victor Kovacs. But, yeah, Swan Song is great fun, and thank you guys for checking it out. We've got
I
another
still
West
liked it the way he
component.
died was his head splattered against the
Yeah,
wall.
just
Oh, yeah, just
running down the stairs.
So inglorious. Just
Yeah, complete shame.
Every time you say that, I just picture that. I'm like, God. Running down the stairs.
Yeah.
Nobody dies a hero, man. We all die
Yeah.
messy, disgusting pile of meat.
And he was like getting more and more insane as the show went
Oh
on.
yeah, no, he was losing his shit. That was fun. So now we've got someone who can keep it together a little more. So yeah,
I don't
we'll
know.
see
This
how-
episode, you got even more silly again. Like,
We'll see how Prosper evolves as well. Yeah, so some West Marches this weekend, and yeah, you guys can follow me everywhere on the internet at Silent Osiris. So check out some stuff.
Cool.
That's all.
Adam, close us out, sir.
I would, as always, like to thank all of y'all for being such great players. I love this game and how ridiculous it is, but also that we can spend like 20 minutes talking philosophy with computer intelligence that doesn't exist. Pretty fun.
Pretty awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming, watching the show, everybody. Special shout outs to the folks who manage and contribute to the Swan Song wiki, because holy
Yes.
shit. Like,
They're doing an amazing job.
if
And the
you haven't-
intro is awesome too. Like the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that make this so cool is so cool.
Yep. Massive fan shoutouts. Yeah, if you are enjoying the GMing that I'm doing, keep an eye out for Mirror Shades, which is starting very soon. Gonna get our Cyberpunk on, and special fun times for me. I get to play a character on West Marches this weekend, and you can come and see if Steven will try to kill me. Be proud.
Woohoo! I don't try to kill people. I just let them die.
just
if
do.
Yes,
something.
yeah, they
Yeah.
just die because of their own bad decisions. Hey, I'm really good at Dungeons and Dragons, so
Yeah.
watch out. Watch out. Steve.
And now he will try to kill you.
Maybe
Yeah, no, I
we'll
will
have
die.
a
It's all
zero death session. Who knows?
No, everybody else can die. I'm gonna come through.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, more shenanigans of my variety. Twitter at Skinny Ghost. Check it out. See you next time.
Check it out.
Cool stuff. All right. I'll do all my shout-outs after we close out the show. We'll let you guys know when we're playing. Probably right after the show as the cast discusses it, and I'll put it on the site. But that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everyone, for watching RollPlay Swan Song. We are out.
Switch.